So that means you're gonna have to sign on early so the camera can warm up, huh? Yeah.
Well, I think just, I don't know, being in the box, just getting the
Yeah.
autofocus going
Yeah.
in and out. Just giving a little exercise.
So Mel, it might be our age that the way we look at things has changed, and we have difficulty to adjust to the new way of doing things.
Yeah, I agree.
Isn't that what our parents said about us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's and
It's every generation.
I think you're all right. I can't argue with them. I can tell you what I don't like.
Yeah.
That's all I say. What is the bottom line for me is we were a respected country for a lot of things. And over the last 10 years, we have really became the bully. I don't know what we are to the rest of the countries, to the rest of the world. I mean, we
lost a lot of respect with Clinton.
I don't think we know.
Yeah, right, we don't know either, but we lost a lot of respect overseas with Clinton.
And why did you say that?
Because of his little affair with Monica.
Well, you tell me what leader doesn't have an affair.
I know, but I was over there when it was
public.
happening, and it was just awful what these people were just saying.
Yeah, but because we have this thing about us being so pure.
Yeah.
And we put that out to the world and find out we're not that way.
Yeah.
We go
I think it was the lying about it that really
Because
set it off.
Right, it was the lying.
Yeah, because they were saying because it was out there once that every president had the wife on one side of the room and the girlfriend on the other side.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't, looking at all the presidents in my little study, I'd say at least half of them had women that other people knew about while they were in office. Now, I don't know, a lot of the presidents, we don't even remember their name, but as I started studying, one of them had I don't know if it was Cal something. He had a girlfriend that he kept in an apartment close to the White House so that he could go visit her. And she had a child by him, and he was taking care of both of them. But when he died, there was no money in his will for it. So her and her daughter were thrown out of this apartment, and also she decided to write a book. They say it was the first tell-it-all book or something. And she wrote about their relationship, and this was his daughter. Do you know the American people wouldn't accept it?
Yeah.
They said she was lying. Now, today we got DNA. That would have solved that problem. But I'm just saying, we have this thing about us, we can't do any wrong.
Well, if you go back, like Lincoln, I mean, he had a black woman that he was in love with. So it's no big thing for them to have.
Are you talking about
Abraham Lincoln? I don't remember her name.
Because there was one with not him, Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson had a whole family with a black slave, and actually he took her over to France.
Yeah.
And so, in those days, I don't think there was one man who had slaves that did not dip into the pot.
So nowadays, I don't think things have changed that much, but it's just more prevalent nowadays than it was before.
Was it all public knowledge before?
Right.
Right. So that's social media and the news just keeps putting stuff out there and just blowing things up. And the more they do that, the more we learn.
Yeah. So it's nothing new. It's just that it's more publicized now.
Right.
That's
We'll
like
take
people,
a little snippet of information and fill in the rest with whatever our biases are.
Yeah.
So,
That's just like police brutality on the black. And I tell people this is not new. It's just nowadays everybody's got a camera. and everybody was posted. I said, if you go back where you see pictures of 3 or 4 people hanging from a tree, black people hanging from a tree. So it wasn't something that wasn't going on. It was just something that wasn't publicized.
Right.
Or
So-
if it was just locally.
Huh?
If it was publicized, it was local.
Right, just
It wasn't
locally. Right.
national or international.
Right. So, it's not nothing new going on. It's just that nowadays you just can't get away with it.
Yeah. So the question begs the question, is the world worse or do we just know about more of it?
We just know more of it. Right? And in some ways, I think the world is getting better in the fact that people know that they can't create as many offensive things and get away with it now as they used to could. Yeah. If you rob a
There's a lot
bank
to say
now,
about accountability.
huh?
There's a lot to say about accountability as a deterrent.
Yeah. So who knows? So what's going on? We're going to talk about your topic there, Charles.
Yeah. And I'm a little bummed Nate's not here because I know this is a political discussion and he always has a lot to add, but
I know, but it's the
we can,
second Thursday of the month. He's never here.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yep.
Oh, see, I didn't know. I just know he missed some meetings. I don't know which ones it is.
Yeah, it's usually the second and sometimes the fourth.
Mm. Oh, okay. So what
Well,
did he
did
be doing
anybody
on the
get-
second floor?
He's got city council or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Some
okay.
real estate
anybody
thing. I
get-
don't know.
One of these mailings in the mail or look at the website?
No, what is that?
We didn't get one.
Not yet.
What is it?
I didn't get one either. This was for my wife. It is a petition to add to the ballot online sports betting, put it in our state constitution.
Oh,
I think that's all well and good, provided somebody can really make them accountable for where that money goes.
Yeah, but now that was one of the things how can we not repeat what happened with the Florida lottery?
right.
I'm not
what-
familiar with
understanding-
that, but
Huh?
Well, my understanding is, yeah, it brought in a lot of money. It had to be allocated for education, but it wasn't additional. It was a swap. The money came in, they took the exact same out. So it didn't add additional. So people's pet projects got paid.
so I read the stuff that you sent last night.
Mhm.
And it says that the state has discretion, it's to their discretion how the money actually gets spent. So I would say no.
Yeah.
I would stop it.
And would this be the paved way for casinos
Good
and
question.
other forms of betting?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Because
because it says that people can bet any which way they want in any sport they want.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah. and
Because
this is
didn't they-
online, but yeah, in person would be just another step.
Didn't they close the dog track down in Daytona?
Yeah, I believe, yes. Yeah,
I think
did
they closed the
Greyhound
dog
racing.
tracks everywhere
Yeah, that
because they
Wow.
closed
that
them in
was more.
They
that
closed
was
them in
less against-
Massachusetts too.
That was less against betting and more against the cruelty to the dogs.
Right, right.
Yeah, well, what about horses? They
I
didn't
don't
get
know
rid of
about
horse
horse
races,
racing.
huh?
Are the horses being abused? I don't know.
Yeah, but if they
Well-
close down the horse races, then they're gonna have to close down the Kentucky Derby, and they're not gonna do that.
Right. The Kentucky Derby, what is it, the 3 major races, the Kentucky Derby, what's the one in the Belmont?
Yeah,
The Belmont, it's 3 main races they have, the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont, because that's when, if you win all 3, that means that's when your horse is the champion. I forget what they call them. But yeah, they sort of whip on horses, you know, with the whip. Okay?
The
And
whip,
make 'em
the
go
digging of the
faster.
heels, the
Right.
drugs.
Right.
Yep.
So it's just whatever they want to get rid of. Looks like it's what they eliminate. But I think that change there that they want is a paved way to casinos in Florida.
Well, this isn't going to be a lot of money changing hands, because if there's hundreds of millions coming into tax dollars for education, that means there would have to be billions upon billions changing
Yeah.
hands annually.
Yeah, but then are they going to use it for education, or are they going to use it for something else?
Well, whoever put this together, this is a beautiful persuasion piece.
Uh,
Beautiful. So be on the lookout. There's a lot of lessons in here on how to write persuasively.
How to write what?
Layout, how to write persuasively.
So
Yeah.
somebody was a good copywriter, huh?
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Yeah. A+ on that front. The layout, the color scheme, just the envelope. I mean, right off the bat, hundreds of millions for education inside.
yeah.
No, they must have had one of my
All the
copywriting
emotional
teachers.
heartstrings. Yeah. All the emotional heartstrings are getting pulled. First
Well,
sentence. Do you believe Florida's students deserve the best educational system in the country? So of course you do. So do we. In 2 sentences, they got you emotionally hooked, and now they're on the same side as you. We're on the team. So
Yeah, but
beautiful.
are they going to use the money for education? Which I doubt.
Right, and that's the big question is
Right.
how do you control where the
Right.
money goes?
And you know, you really don't have to have any morals to be in a elected to an elective office nowadays.
Mhm.
You know, look like the more corrupt you are, the better chance you have of getting elected.
Just have to be popular.
Huh?
So you just have to be popular.
Now, here's what I have learned. That's not only in politics. I remember there's a very well-known church in a state. The pastor died. And who they got was another minister who had been convicted of not sexual abuse, but extramarital affairs. And they made him pastor. Now, if you got that kind of background going in, what do they expect you to do when you get there? Because close your ears, Robin. Because women is not going to run away from a man of, I guess you say, power.
Man of cloth.
Right. And this church is a very, very, very large church, you know. So I said, well, they knew about it and still elected him pastor. So your morals don't have anything to do with your position that you get in life. See, Charles, you will never get nowhere because you're too honest.
We had something
Well,
similar
we're gonna see
happen.
about that. I have.
We had
I have
something
goals.
similar happen in the school that I sent my boys to vocational school, and we were trying. They put me as the president of the Parent Teachers Association, which the principal and the superintendent absolutely hated that I was in that position.
Mm.
And I fought to have in-house suspension put into the school. And the parents finally won. And we got one of the parents volunteered to sit in that position until the school would appoint somebody. Well, then just all of a sudden, as soon as we came up with somebody, the superintendent came up with somebody. And he put him in that position, and we found out he was abusing all the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And here he is, so we took him to court. And the whole school, all the people in the school kept saying that we were just doing it because we were poor and we wanted the money. We got nothing out of it. And we just, wanted all of this. And they said how, they couldn't understand how we could do such a thing to this such nice person and stuff. And it came out that this guy had been with the Boston City school system and had done the same thing and had just gotten fired.
Yeah.
Well, now he's
Yeah.
down here somewhere in Florida, but he's not supposed to be near anybody under 18. But the crap that they gave us at the school, and it was all our fault, and how dare we, and we just, it
Yeah.
was pretty
That's-
bad.
Yeah, that's like on YouTube. I was listening to something the other day where there's a teacher in, I think it was California, I'm not sure, teaching the 8th grade, was telling the students that Trump is still the president and all this other stuff, right? And they removed the teacher off the teaching, but they hadn't fired him. But they said that some of the students were going home telling the parents that you lied to us, that Trump wasn't the president. Okay? Because the thought is that whatever the teacher say is true.
Right.
Okay. So
Field of authority.
huh? Right. So we're in tough times now. Mel, your eyes still closed?
Yeah, teachers
Yes,
should not
sir.
be bringing politics to school.
Huh?
I don't, whatever side they're on, they should leave their politics at the door.
Yeah.
Either
But-
side.
But that's
Their politics, their religious beliefs. I don't know about down here, but in Boston, during the holidays now, none of the schools are allowed to even celebrate any holiday. Not Christmas, not Kwanzaa, not Hanukkah, none of it. No decorations, no nothing.
Well, I don't know about down here, but I know in New York they celebrate every holiday.
Yeah, well, Boston, they've not allowed anymore.
Well, let me put it this way: the school are closed for every holiday. Now, I don't know
Yeah,
about
they're on
celebrate.
vacation. They're on school vacation too, but
Yeah.
before all the kids used to learn about all the different holidays and stuff, and now they're
No.
not even allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, well, they don't want you to know the truth.
Right.
Or
That-
have
that's like-
understanding
that's-
of other people.
It's like the big battle with teaching Black history,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't want the Black history to be taught in school. So that's
Hell,
the way.
they don't want American history to be taught in school either.
Yeah,
or
that-
true history.
Right. Any history.
Yeah,
You
in the
know,
true history, huh? What's that,
It
Mel?
appears that we as Americans were just like we are now. Our country started with everybody being happy and holding hands, and every immigrant that came across was given money to get started, land. It just doesn't make any sense that we can't talk about the hardships of different cultures that came
Right.
over.
Right.
The Chinese, the way the Jews, the blacks. I mean, we're not a nice country. And I think that's the problem that's coming out now, that when we look at the history of America, basically we want to be good, but we do some dumb things, some very dumb things. And then we either wipe it under the rug or we lie about it. And so when you start teaching this, those who are in power don't want that out there because it shatters their
Yeah.
power.